Welcome to today's video. We are going to examine just how much texture of a paint, excluding the color, how much the texture and sheen, the quality of paint shows up when you do patchwork. Well, now that we've got the introduction out of the way, the short version is when you live in a house, it's always a big pain in the tuchus. It's easier if you're going to sell a house or do any work that you just one day pack up, move out, even if everything goes in storage, get her all done so you have a month or so to get all the work you want to get done. Well, here in this house is just me, and we're working on getting two of the rooms below, the office and Studio O, which is the dining room, getting that upstairs, and getting the guest room, the spare room, in case somebody comes visit, get it upstairs. And in order to do that, we got to do carpet throughout. It's been painted, it's ready for the stuff to move, but I need to vacate those two bottom rooms and the stairway and things in order to get it fully painted. In the process, we, a couple of years ago, had the internet changed. We went to fiber optics, and so we pulled it from the downstairs where in front of the TV, below the TV, it goes upstairs. And then we had a rack system that goes away. So all the wires that were being fed at the floor ceiling level and then down to this one spot that were hidden by that tall vertical rack with the 5.1 stereo receiver and all that, when that stereo went away and I put a new one up over the TV, that gives me all of these wires hanging down below. If I disconnect the stereo, they're not there. I can live without that, but I still got to mess with the antennas, the stereo antenna, AM, the FM, TV, that kind of stuff down below. So we just shortened them and pulled them up in the wall and patched over. No, I'm not as good as I used to be patching sheetrock, but it's flat paint and it looks acceptable except for this big rectangle where I rolled it versus the contractors had put the cheapest paint possible. It's super chalky, super flat, and it hides a bunch of the original sheetrock job was not perfect either. I guess you can't get perfection much these days. So this is what we did. We took and taped off the area and sprayed back over that perfectly clean, solid look. It's just at the angle you really saw how bad it wanted to jump out. It still shows at the end, but I want to know, is it worth a half an hour's worth of work doing the taping, about 3 minutes worth of the spraying, and then 2 hours cleaning the spray gun up again. All right, so how about that? All right, you see what we've got going on here where we did a little repair, and you can see the nasty handprints and everything. The whole house needs to be painted, but it's not necessarily in this year's budget. We got screens, we got all kind of other stuff we need to do. And you see that nice sharp line here and here. That's where we taped off where we worked on the wall to bring the TV up and get rid of the old stereo. So what we're going to do is we're going to try a spray right in through here and give it a different texture, because see, if we get right on top of it, indeed, the color. If you like this content, please go to calldeltosell.com, find the tab that says on YouTube, click it, and it'll open up a page of QR codes. There you can use a smartphone to scan and get to the YouTube page, or you can just mouse over and click it on a PC. There you'll be able to subscribe to this little button over here and click the notification bell so that YouTube will notify you. Thank you. The colors are the same. It's just the texture in the way that it reflects the light messes us up. Now, before we start, I don't know that I have enough paint to finish this, so we'll start trying to feather off the edges of the space around the door and whatever. So if it looks a little funny, we'll let it pretend to be a shadow of the TV. Because like I said, we're going to get it painted sometime, just not this week. Well, it's just been an hour or two. It's pretty quick drying paint, especially when it's sprayed. But and I can't say that it's absolutely perfect, but I will say I think it probably turned out better than it was. Less noticeable, and mainly because the stairs are absolutely filthy. Again, I got to move some rooms from down here to up there, and then that lets me do some carpeting down here and some painting down here. Well, we're done. I don't know if you need to notice all the tiny stuff that gets done in the house, but I think it's homeownery type stuff that if you're going to own a house, you need to be able to do some of this stuff. Now, do the notification bell, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, spread this around, do what all of us people who produce content ask you to do. If you see value in this, share me around. I'm not an expert. I'm just a regular guy, but I'm also not particularly shy. So we appreciate you. See you next week.